The political right has an obsession with going on and on about how triggered and offended the snowflake left is. There is nothing they enjoy more than portraying the left as a mob of triggered, offended snowflakes. I find this supremely amusing. Amusing in an ironic kind of way. Because the political right is perpetually triggered, constantly offended, and represents the epitome of snowflakery. Some leftists get triggered by hatred, bigotry, oppression, and exploitation. The collective political right gets triggered every time a minority breathes. The right is perpetually offended, so long as the minorities they despise exist and are somewhat happy. What makes one a snowflake if not existence in a state of constant, uncontrollable seething over the existence of LGBT people? And this state is more or less the current state of the collective political right. Simply seeing a pride flag or being reminded that minorities exist by seeing one in a movie is enough to induce uncontrollable anger in many a right-winger. How did we let the people who have built careers off of whining about minorities in movies portray us as the snowflakes? The triggered leftist is more often than not mad about oppression and exploitation, hatred and cruelty, suffering and misery. The triggered right-winger is mad about minorities in movies, trans people existing, and the occasional sight of a pride flag. How did we let the political right, a political grouping that was driven to collective enragement by a toy potato being regarded as gender neutral, portray us as the triggered ones? How did we let those who uncontrollably seethe every time they see a minority in a movie label us as the triggered, offended snowflakes? Even the most whiny, annoying, triggered leftists have nothing on the political right. The right is basically founded on getting triggered over progress. In many ways, being offended by progress is the shared experience that unites the entire right. The smallest, most harmless things will drive them to collective enragement. Not just a few individuals, the entire political right will be up in arms about some tiny, tiny little thing. Minorities in movies, LGBT people existing, microscopic amounts of progress. And the collective political right becomes more triggered and offended than even the most unhinged of leftists. The right is in no position to portray the left as triggered and offended. Right-wingers mock liberals and leftists for being easily offended, yet the very existence of minorities has them seething uncontrollably. They are the most easily offended, triggered little snowflakes in politics. Whining and whining about nothing is all that they ever do. Conservatism is practically built on whining about progress. Countless right-wingers have built careers on uncontrollably seething about things that no reasonable person would be even slightly irritated by. Be it those who are obsessed with minorities in movies or the existence of trans people. The political right is the most easily triggered and constantly offended collection of people on the planet. Don't let them get away with pretending otherwise.